Hello, everybody. Welcome in to the NBA Front Office Show. It's Friday. You know what that means.
Front Office Friday! Best rivalry in sports tonight edition.
Let's go. Lakers Celtics tonight. Front Office Friday rivalry game edition. That's going to be a lot of fun. Both Keith and I are going to be live over on Lakers Nation, breaking down the game as it's happening tonight, 4 p.m. Pacific time. What the hell, man? That's way too early for a basketball game, but it's going to happen. 4 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be live breaking down Lakers Celtics as it's happening. Join us for that. We'll be over on Lakers Nation. You can find us over on Playback as well. All right. Lots of stuff.
Everyone tune in. Peyton Pritchard, Austin Reeves, classic Celtics, Lakers battle, kind of. Some guys might play.
Do we call it the Snow Bowl?
Oh man, we might. I don't know. You can match now. Whitewash for whitewash. So let's go. Let's throw this thing all the way back to the 1950s.
Right there we go. The legend of Boston Reeves
continues. And we all know what happened the last time the Lakers showed up with not the stars available. They handled the Celtics in Boston, so that was a not great night for the Celtics. But we'll have fun tonight.
I got my day is getting off to a very late start. I was up very late last night after last night's game. So I'm just getting going. I'm looking to see the injury reports have not been submitted for this game yet.
Yeah, because they're both on back-to-back, so they don't even have to put it out until 5 o'clock Eastern.
The Celtics are kind of on a back-to-back.
No, kind of, yeah. They
destroyed the Wizards last night.
Well, what's funny is that game was close until about 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Yeah. Then the Wizards were like, we played like 30 minutes of ball. We're done.
We're good. We did what we needed to do.
Baylor Shireman was a plus 42 in 25 minutes because he basically played most of the second half. And it was just, it was ridiculous.
You may not see a higher plus minus on the season than that. That's insane.
It was rough.
But anyway, my point is, we don't know for sure who's playing in this game. Like, I would assume Luka is not back from Slovenia. His daughter was born yesterday.
I don't know how many direct flights from Slovenia to New England there are.
We don't have 100% confirmation, but I would assume he's not back. LeBron has not been playing back-to-backs. There could be no Luka, no LeBron. We have no idea about Marcus Smart. He was out for last night's game. Was he out because LeBron would be out tonight? I don't know. Who knows? We're not sure who's going to even be available to play in this game, but we'll see.
Jaylen Brown on the Celtics side, like a legitimate illness. We don't know if he'll play or not.
It's going around the league, isn't it? Just that time
of year. Yep. Yeah, late or early winter, right? And it's funny. We like to think of these guys as superhuman, right? Mm-hmm. But they're all like us. When you have kids bring home germs, and then you get sick, and it just happens. So
it is the way it goes. All right, we've got a lot to get into here. Let's go here. Let's go to this one. Said, I don't want it to happen, but does OKC have the flexibility to get Giannis? Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
They definitely can.
Now they could. One, we know they could just here's all the draft picks if you need them, and they've got Hartenstein as a big, basically pseudo expiring salary. They wanted to go that route. It could be just that is kind of terrifying.
OKC may be like, it's such a rare situation where they have all the assets to go trade for Giannis, but maybe not the reason to actually trade for Giannis because they're just steamrolling everyone right now.
Yeah, do you want to mess up a good thing? And I get it. That sounds stupid, right? Because it's Giannis.
Exactly.
So it's like, but do you even need to? Right? And then, because you're not going to trade SGA. You're not going to trade Williams or Holmgren, presumably, right? So, do you really want to add a fourth max guy? Like, that becomes the other question when, do you need to? Do you even need to do this? So, I think they might just be like, no, we're good. We're happy with our, what are they, 22, 23 and 1, whatever it is right now. Like we're good with
I mean,
that.
the other night, I was like going, man, this may actually, Golden State without Curry was playing well. They're making big plays, and they were up one with 5 minutes to go. They still lost by double digits. Like they just keep rolling. So they may be the only team in the league who could legitimately have an opportunity to go get Giannis if they wanted and say, no, thanks, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. We're okay. Yeah.
All right, let's go here. Hey, Trevor Keith, happy Friday to y'all. Lakers Celtics on deck. Quick question. If I have a question regarding sports journalism and media world, do you guys have an email I can reach you at?
Yeah, I'll put mine in the chat, but it's also if it goes like too quickly and you can't find it, it's in my Twitter bio. So and it people ask this regularly, like, oh, it's actually you who answers that. Yeah, I'm a one-man show here. I don't have an assistant. You guys don't send in enough super chats for that. So.
I would I do answer questions from time to time when I do have times though where I'll go back and I'll start looking through, and whether it's email or especially DMs, and I'll see somebody that leaves a real heartfelt message, and I'm like, oh my God, this was like a year ago. And I just never saw.
I'm not gonna promise a quick response on this, like not for a question like you're asking. Also, be specific, like what it is you want to know. It just helps. Like if you're just like, I want to do what you do, like that. Okay, cool. Like that's great. One, aspire bigger in life, but beyond that, like it's let me give me specific questions. But yeah, I just dropped my email in there.
You could aspire for like $48 million or something like that.
Plant some trees.
Plant some trees. Any prediction on what happens next with Chris Paul? I think he gets waived. Ultimately, he'll get waived and he'll wind up signing with somebody just to try to prove that he's still got something left in the tank and not to finish his career this way. Now, who he signs with, I don't know. That may be difficult to figure out, and it may take getting to a point where some of these teams that right now are right up against their hard caps are able to sign veterans. So he may be out of action for a little bit, but I do think that he ultimately gets waived. I don't know that. I don't see a team necessarily going and trading for Chris Paul. Now, if it's a package deal and, some teams, a buyer on the market and they go trade for Ivica Zubac or something like that, whoever it is that the Clippers are trading, then maybe he gets thrown into a deal that way. But I think ultimately he probably gets waived and then signed somewhere.
Yeah, if I'm the Clippers, I am not using any of my limited draft capital to dump him on another team.
No.
Like that's crazy. And it's a minimum contract. And they're not going to do anything till December 15th when he becomes trade eligible, unless they know between the next 10 days, like no one was trading for this guy. But yeah, try to, see if you can make something happen trade wise, see if you can find something there. Then I think what you can do after that is then you can kind of get into a spot where it's like, all right, we tried, we couldn't find anything. Let's just move him now as far as waiving him, and then I would just immediately convert Kobe Sanders to a contract and just move forward. That way, that eliminates all the games issues for Kobe Sanders, who's going to come up on that pretty quickly. He's actually been a bright spot in a really bad Clippers season. He's played really well. That also limits remove it. It helps you with your roster minimums and your hard cap because he actually counts for the actual rookie minimum versus then having to wait and all the other mess that can come.
Right. Okay, let's see. Let me go to this question here. Said, what do you think is the Pistons' biggest need right now?
Shooting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, I promise I'm not trying to blow off the question because it's a good question, but it's a good question with a very simple answer. It's just more shooting, and one more on-ball creator. Just somebody who can lighten the load a little bit on Cade Cunningham or really keep them moving when Cade Cunningham's on the bench. Yeah,
the Detroit Pistons 20th in the NBA in three-point percentage right now. That is certainly not good enough for them. And then They're 28th in the NBA in 3-point attempts, which you could get by being a low 3-point attempt team. We saw Denver do it for years and still do it, with Big Jokic. But that's a very specific team. Like I'd like to see their Detroit's volume go up a bit from 3 as well as their accuracy. So if you can add that shooting element to them, which Malik Beasley is standing out there going, "I'm right here, guys. Yeah. I'm right here. Come sign me." But they've got to. Some things have to get settled, I think, on that first.
Yeah, and I still think that's likely the way this maybe plays out. But yeah, they're not going to sign him unless they have full clearance. Like, hey, we're not going to sign him and he gets immediately suspended, or we have to put him on any kind of inactive list. That's gonna wait just a little bit longer at least.
All right. Should the Jazz say screw the pick and become a buyer on the trade market, OKC will get pick 10 through 15. I'm very firmly on the no side on this, just because it's such a all or nothing situation for Utah. And this is such a good draft class from everything we've heard about this group coming in. Like I want a shot at that if I'm Utah, because even if they're a buyer on the market, to me, that's not putting them really into contention. That's not making them a legit play. Like at best, we're probably talking first round exit, even if the Jazz sneak in. That's probably what we're looking at for Utah. If I'm Utah, I'd rather have another shot at getting a true star level player to put next to Markkanen if you're going to hang on to him, next to Keontae George, and then you've really got something to cook with moving forward. And that's taken the whole Thunder aspect of it out. But I want to keep that pick if I'm Utah.
Yeah, this is one where I don't really have a problem either way. If they decide, and I'm going to use one of your lines. Don't hear what I'm not saying here. They're not going to end up as good as the Thunder. But if they want to do the Thunder approach of, hey, we're good with making a run at the play-in tournament, getting that high-level game experience, playing in games that matter, and then next year we're really ready to make a real run at the playoffs, I'm okay with that. If they have the right guy, hey, we can add this guy, he fits long-term, let's move forward. I think that would be good for them. I think for the other side, yeah, this is it with that pick. That pick this is the last year of any kind of protection on it, and then they keep it there. You keep a really good pick in a high level draft, and that's where it is. I think what ultimately decides this for the Jazz is, where are we in 2 months when we're at the trade deadline? We're still in the mix for 8, 9, 10 in the West, and in the mix to be a play-in tournament team, like really in the mix, then yeah, we probably go. If we're not, then maybe it's all right, let's go. Like if Dallas and the Clippers pass them in the standings, then they're probably like, all right, let's just call it what it is. We'll bottom this out and go.
Now, right now they are exactly on the line. Right now, if the draft lottery were to stay chalk, they would send the 9th pick to the Thunder. So like maybe if they were, they'd be sending, if right now they were in the play-in, at least if they were the 9 seed in the West or something, maybe then you could make a case for it. But I just think, well, it makes sense. They could get into a little bit of pre-agency here. Personally, if I'm Utah, I want the pick. I want to keep that pick. I want to have that shot at getting, Darren Peterson or AJ DeBonza or whoever in this draft class.
Yep. Yeah. And that, again, I'm not gonna fault them if that's the direction they want to go, right? I think that's okay if that's what how they really want to do it.
All right, let's go here. Could you guys watch a Game 7 of the Lakers Celtics finals together?
I mean, I would like to think we could.
I think so. We could survive it. Now,
yeah,
it would
I don't know that it'd be. Yeah, I don't know that it'd be fun for anybody else to watch.
No, that's true. It's certainly like tonight's game. It's a Friday night in December. I mean, it's a regular season game. Do we both want our teams to win? Of course. But a Game 7 of an NBA Finals with a championship on the line and all of that, that would be, I think both Keith and I would be living and dying with every play, and 100%. Everyone around us would be miserable.
Yeah, no offense, but I don't even want to go back and watch old Game 7s between the two teams. Just because some of those would be pretty rough. So, but yeah,
sure.
It would be. I don't know. It would be. I would like to think we could, but that would be the stress test right there.
Absolutely. All right, let's go here. For fun, with your basketball smarts, where do you think Luka Jokic are all time right now? I hate the all time debates. I just do. They're just an excuse to get people mad.
Yeah.
And where do you think they'll finish at the end of their career? I mean, there are a couple of I always put it this way: just these are some of the greatest players we've ever seen.
Yep.
And enjoy them, because no matter what happens, if you say, oh, he's 5th all time or 47th all time or whatever, why do you hate this player so much?
Yeah,
I don't care. They're great.
I will say he's definitely higher than Luka, and by a considerable margin.
Yeah, all the MVPs.
Yeah, Jokic has won MVPs and he's won a title. And that's no knock against Luka, but he's been in the league a lot less than Jokic has, so he just hasn't gotten there yet. I think I think we will see him get there eventually, but we'll see. So, for anybody who's like me and slightly distracted, the World Cup draw is on, and they're actually finally doing it an hour into this stupid spectacle. They're actually drawing the teams. So, but anyway,
let us know what the U.S. gets. I don't have it on here.
Yeah, if and when I see them, I will let you guys know. But anyway, so yeah, Jokic. I mean, Jokic he's closing in on top 10. He gets another title. He's 100% there.
I mean, he may get another MVP. He could get that this year.
Yeah, without a doubt. So it's I think it's going to be something there. I think we'll see with that, and then Luka has a chance to be right there as well. I think of the current play, I'm going to take LeBron out because we all know that one. I think of the current players that I feel confident can challenge for top 10 all time would be Jokic, Giannis, and Luka. And I think SGA has an outside chance, especially if they just keep dominating and he keeps dominating like this for a number of years. It's just too early on Wemby, in Cooper Flag and guys like that. I'm not going to go there yet.
I know we want to go say, Wemby is an all-time great already or what, he could be, but he's got to stay on the floor.
Just too early.
You
got to be healthy and stay on the floor. So,
all right, let's go here. Hey, Trevor and Keith, on a Giannis trade. So we haven't talked about Giannis yet, potentially being on the move. How would you feel about a package built around Porzingis, Ricochet, the Pelicans first, a Bucks first, and a few more picks?
Yeah, I'd be all right with that. Yeah. I think that's a pretty good value, and it keeps Trae Young at home. So
especially if you're getting that that Pels pick. What would you think if you're Milwaukee? What if Atlanta just says Trae and the Pels first round pick, which right now would be, I think it's number 1. Yeah, right now would be the number 1 overall pick if the draft were to stay chalk. What if you got Trae, so you got your replacement star for, I know they're different tiers and all that, but plus you get what would have the best odds to be the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft?
I would then say, I want Ricochet and I need a couple more picks too.
Okay.
It's almost this package, just Trae instead of Porzingis, just because I don't is Trae going to turn around and leave in the summertime?
Right.
If he's I don't want to be here as part of a rebuild, where does that go?
And that's the same conversation that we had about Austin Reeves with Lakers fans, oh, but doesn't Reeves have a lot of value? Couldn't he be worth this, and this?
Sure.
The problem is you don't, Milwaukee would have no guarantee that he would stay. He could be a free agent in the summer and then just say, well, yeah, you guys traded for me, but I don't want to be in Milwaukee. It's too cold here. I'm out. See ya.
Yeah, 100%. But I do think Atlanta's a really interesting team.
I do too.
If they want to go, because it kind of fits for Giannis. I mean, you come back with, give me a team built around Giannis, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and whichever center is left, Okongwu or Porzingis, or if Trae Young is left, I'm ready. Let's go. That's a team with good versatility. That's a team that can defend. They're gonna score points. I'm all in on a move like that.
And Jake Fisher on the Stein line, had a deep cut where he mentioned that Giannis believed on draft night that he was going to the Hawks, and then the Bucks swooped in and got him. So there's already that connection there. I do think Atlanta it makes sense as a landing. Now, there's a number of teams that we could say San Antonio makes sense as a landing.
It's Giannis.
Right. It's Giannis. So it's not by far. Don't hear what I'm not saying. Not saying this is the place that he's going and there's no other options. No, but I think Atlanta is a real option for Giannis.
I like this. Sean throws this in. If I'm Milwaukee and I'm trading Giannis, I'm doing my best to make the Hawks take Kuzma as well. Yeah, I would try to attack. This is where it comes down to, and I said this when we did our live show a couple days ago. It really is. It depends on what the Bucks want to be post Giannis.
Yeah.
Are we trying to stay competitive and win games? That changes what you want. That changes adding other veteran guys into the package. If I'm trying to bottom this out and restart, then yeah, I mean, let's start moving off some of this other salary. You can argue Kuzma, you can go kind of either way with him. It probably doesn't really matter on that, but because then you're getting off some money, or if you're keeping him around, it's not like Kyle Kuzma has been a guy who is, just this dominant, force that's going to drag you to more wins than you want if you're rebuilding. So yeah, the other nice thing, if you're the Bucks, they may, if you trade Giannis, even if you do a move that's designed to keep you competitive, they may not end up being competitive enough anyway. And if that way, if you did a move with Atlanta, you basically get your pick plus the Pelicans pick in the lottery. That's a pretty good starting point. Even if you took on Trae Young and it's hey, he's got this knee thing, we're not going to rush him back. That would be really interesting.
Well, and I like the initial proposal that we saw had another Bucks pick going back to Milwaukee.
Sure.
So I mean, if that would help them out if they do decide to bottom out and rebuild after this.
Yep.
Okay, let's go here. If Vando gets no run tonight, he's officially in Lakers purgatory. So Vando has not played. Vanderbilt, it's either the last 6 or 7 straight games
something like
that he's been a DNP coach's decision. Especially if at least we're going to see. I think Luka will probably be out. I just can't imagine that he'll be back from his child being born and all that. But so let's say we're in a scenario where Luka's out, LeBron isn't playing second night of a back-to-back, and Marcus Smart is still out, and then Jared Vanderbilt still doesn't play, then it's really something okay, he's really, really out of the rotation at that point. We did see Dalton Connect play last night. We saw Drew Thiero. Now, I've been talking about this a lot on Lakers Nation, stylistically, the way the Lakers are treating Jared Vanderbilt. Why is that funny?
6'7", 6'7". That's why it's funny. We obviously some children are home from school on a Friday.
I'm so glad I don't teach junior high right now anymore, because then I'd be having to deal with that. Anyway, so when I look at this, the Lakers are using Vando, or they're using their offense with 4 shooters on the floor at all times. That's the rule they're playing by, right or wrong. That's the way they're playing.
Yep.
And so if you're doing that, really, Jared Vanderbilt is competing with not Maxi Kleber or Adu Thiero or Dalton Connect or Gabe Vincent or anybody else that you want to say Jared Vanderbilt is better than. He's competing with DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes to get on the floor if you could only have one non-shooter on the floor at any given time. And he's not going to beat either one of those guys for minutes right now. So if he is officially, out again tonight, if he's just on the bench, then at that point we just throw our hands up and say, well, when's he ever going to get on the floor if the Lakers are missing that many guys and he still doesn't play?
Yeah, and I'll even go a step further. If a bunch of guys are out today, and I'm not saying the Lakers are punting tonight's game, Benny gets some run, I'm even going to say then, I still think he's it's now turning into that's a nice chunk of salary to throw into a trade versus anything beyond that.
Yeah. And that, he's got multiple years left on his deal too. So you may have to add stuff. But do you guys think we'll get a crazy insane trade again like last February? I think it is insane to predict anything like the Luka trade that we had happen. That was the all-time most shocking trade we've ever seen in NBA history. So I would never, ever, ever predict that something like that's going to happen, because what made it so insane and so crazy and so shocking was how rare it is that something like that happens.
Yeah, rare, like the fact that that wasn't even on the radar.
Oh, we just got injury report. LeBron is doubtful for tonight, and Luka and Marcus Smart are out.
Okay. Yeah. That's a bummer because the Celtics haven't really gotten to see Marcus Smart since they traded him. Like he's been out and hurt and stuff. So, yeah, the Luka one, I mean, that would have been crazy.
And big congratulations to Luka. I've been saying like nobody should be mad at Luka at all for not being there. Absolutely. Take care. Go be with your family during this time. These are moments he's never going to forget.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, if you're as good as you think you are, missing a game or two, and if there's a loss, who cares? It doesn't matter. Right. It should not matter in the long run. But yeah, I mean, I don't even remember what we were talking about before that. Luka and the trade stuff. Yeah, I think I do think we're gonna see. It's not gonna be crazy like that because that just again it came out of nowhere, right? Like that's like Giannis gets traded. It's like okay, we've been talking about this for a year now or more in some cases. If other guys get moved, like okay, like you kind of see it. Luka getting this, it would have to be Jokic gets traded or SGA gets traded for it to even reach the level of like, wait, what happened? Like, and if it's at 2-3 in the morning again, even more so. So
that's a great point. Like, because even we could say, well, but Giannis is the level of Luka as a star, like,
but it's been,
we've been talking about it, talking about the Luka thing was like, wait, what? Like to the point where people thought Shams was hacked because nobody was talking Luka trade.
Yeah. Because Woj was out of the game, the biggest NBA reporter in the world, we all assumed somebody hacked him.
Yeah.
Because that's how absurd the idea was at the time. And it took like Bobby Marks and others. We didn't even believe it when Shams was like, no, like I wasn't like this is real or whatever he said. No, we needed like other reporters
telling him take a video of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was well, that's exactly what I'd say if I had hacked your account. I would say this is not, this is no, I'm not hacked. So yeah, it would be something else. But
yeah. So but that said, Keith, let's amend this question a little bit. Do you think we will get an active trade deadline?
I do. I do. I think the Thunder are incredible, and it's not teams very much respect them, but teams. I know this is true because I've talked to teams. Said Denver almost beat them, Indiana almost beat them. They're not unbeatable. It may feel like that, especially in the regular season, but I think one of the things teams say in the regular season is the Thunder are so deep that when you're into your 10th, 11th, 12th guys, because it's facing the regular season, almost everybody's missing someone. In some nights, you're even deeper than your 9 or 10 man rotation. When you're that deep, you get into a spot where it is their 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th guys are way better than yours on almost every case. So they just handle teams with ease. That's where they pull. But I do think teams are going to kind of say, yeah, let's get after it. Like let's try to get somebody. And you just want to be in the position. If something bad happens to a Thunder player, an injury comes out of nowhere, and that changes the whole calculus, you want to be next.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Here's the thing. OKC is unbeatable. Wrap the season up like a lineup like a Chipotle burrito. now you're getting me hungry.
Dunk it on the counter.
Yeah, that's right.
And Chipotle for dinner.
Those things are like pillows.
Yeah.
The Chipotle burritos.
But like solid pillows.
Keith, what's funny, you see people that will run around anytime, and this is not just Lakers, this is anytime any team does anything, right? Anything good, they win a game, something good happens. Well, but they're not beating the Thunder. 29 teams can say that right now, based on what's happening. Like the Thunder are steamrolling everybody. So if the bar is whatever happens has to be good enough to beat the Thunder, like that's there's not they're going to be I think they are the projected favorite for the remainder of the season.
Every game.
Yeah. The remainder of the season. And they will be the favorite going to the playoffs. Does that mean they can't lose? No, because it's sports. And sometimes the unexpected does happen.
Yep. It absolutely does.
All right.
Hey, be nice in the chat, guys. Come on. Play nice.
Yeah.
We have a friendly, welcoming community. If we can get along on the day that the Celtics and Lakers are playing, you guys can get along in the chat. Be nice to each other.
That's right. That's right. Be kind. Rewind. Okay.
Yes, I'm terrified of Thanasis and
Thanasis
together. And Alex, you forgot Alex Antetokounmpo.
Yeah. If and again, I do not expect the Lakers to trade for Giannis. If the Lakers and Celtics were to trade and Giannis wind up, how many roster spots are used up for family members at that point?
Right? Does LeBron have a brother somewhere that he's gonna get in there? Like, I like to think he's like 5'8" and weighs like 400 pounds and doesn't even play hoops. So, thanks. $2 might not quite get me to an assistant, but it's a start.
Here's my contribution to hire Keith an assistant. Well, you know what you're getting closer to, though? It's like getting the upgraded version of Chat GPT to be a virtual assistant. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what we can get you to. Hey, hi, Trevor and Keith.
I think we already did this.
We did this one. We did this. Do you guys watch any pro leagues other than the NBA? Yes.
Hey, is this limited to basketball or like other sports? I watch a lot of soccer and I watch baseball when it's in season, and like football, I watch more college football than NFL football at this point, which is weird. Just because Sundays I do a lot of catch up stuff with NBA, things I missed during the week, but yeah, I still watch football too. So any other pro basketball leagues, I watch a good amount of the G League, but I tend to watch more specific player stuff in the G League than games. And then on DirecTV, they have like 3 different channels that you can catch various pro leagues on. And I'll put those on in the backgrounds in the mornings because it's usually, you're right, the time difference is so much. I'll put those on in the mornings just to kind of watch, like have those on. Like it's pretty rare that I don't have a basketball game on a screen somewhere.
As far as do I watch any other basketball? Like I watch other sports. I watch quite a bit of NFL football. I've been getting more back into watching wrestling every now and then, which just for fun. Like I'll put it on while I'm editing stuff and things like that. But and then I'll also watch MLB, of course, stuff like. But in terms of basketball, I don't watch a whole lot of other basketball leagues. Usually, if I'm going to watch basketball, I'm putting it on an NBA game, and then I'm going and I'm doing the 40-minute version of the game. And even then, I'm stopping and rewinding a lot and like, wait, how did they create that? And then going through it that way. So if I do have times, and Keith, I don't know if you do this too, but I do have times where I'm like, I need to watch something else. I need to watch not basketball for a little bit. You like your brain needs a break from basketball for a bit, and that's where I'll throw on like WWE or something like that. But watching other leagues, I don't do a whole lot of that right now because, like I said, if I'm going to watch a basketball game, I'm going to say, hey, I haven't seen, the Magic play in a while. Let me put on a Magic game or something like that.
Yeah, and I'll give my thing on that. Jaylen Brown is in tonight for the Celtics. It's just Jason Tatum out. So
okay.
So there we are. We're kind of where we are with that. It's funny. Basketball is the one thing I never really tire of. It is more if there is, I'm not going to rewatch things that I've already seen. So if I feel like I've kind of like the other night, there was only like 3 games in the NBA last week. There was like a three game night. I would watched all of those. I was caught up on the college stuff I wanted to see. And then I think I've talked about it on here. I have some streamers I like that stream like themselves playing video games. And that's like my 10 minutes. But what I do is each day, so I don't get there with like, I need to not watch basketball. Where I will get to is each day I schedule between a half hour, an hour each day into my day, where do something else, whether that's read, or watch, like sometimes it's watch a show, sometimes it's just sit down and, watch people stream video games and stuff. I'll do some of that just because that's where, I kind of want to like, that's like my like downtime from this. But where I find myself in the car, I will get tired of like, all right, I'm not going to listen to another basketball podcast. right now, and then that's when I go to like I like the Ringerverse stuff that they do. I'll listen to a lot of those things. So
yeah, I'll have times where I just need to throw something else on. Last night while I was editing my Lakers post-game show, I threw on Trading Places, the movie from the early 80s, because I hadn't seen it in forever. And I was like, I'm flipping through. I'm like, what do I want to throw on? And I'm like, oh, that popped up on, because it's Christmas time in the movie. It popped up along like the Christmas movies or whatever. I don't even remember what streaming platform I was on, but it popped up. So I threw that out. Like, I'll throw on kind of random stuff like that.
Yeah, it's funny. I was having this conversation with a friend of mine the other day because he's like, hey, have you watched oh my gosh, now I can't remember. Pluribus, I think is the name of it.
Oh, I've seen that, but I haven't.
It sounds like really interesting. And I was like, yeah, I'll put it on the list. But I'll be completely honest. That list is like years deep. I've never watched Breaking Bad. Like, I've just never seen it. And I now find myself, I tend to, if I'm going to watch something else, I will sit down and watch like Lord of the Rings was on the other day. And I just threw that on as background noise because it's just comfort. I've seen it. The Office or Big Bang Theory. Like, if I have like just throwing something on, I'm going to throw those on. I have seen Game of Thrones. I've seen that. But yeah, literally the only non-NBA things that I make a priority to see that aren't other sports events I want to watch are Marvel stuff like that. And that's just because I really, really like that stuff. But anything else, I have this, I literally keep, because I'm me and I'm a nerd, I have an Excel doc that I just throw stuff in and just add it in there. And I just have it all kind of in this long list that's kind of, at this point, it's like some of these things I'm just never going to get to them. Like, and it's just, yeah.
For me, like I will put on there's lots of different things that I'll throw on. We wind up watching and rewatching The Office a ton.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec a ton. We'll put on that stuff. Schitt's Creek. We'll watch that. But the thing that like a lot of people right now are very, very into like the heavy dramas on Netflix and all these things, you know, and then there's the serial killer documentaries. And neither one of those hold any interest to me whatsoever. I'm not interested in any kind of real life drama, especially like the medical shows and stuff like that. And, you know, you've got characters dying constantly and stuff. Just it holds zero interest for me. It's not my thing. And I know a lot of people really love that stuff. But so I wind up, you know, watching all kinds of like just random things and stuff when I need to.
There just becomes a lot of stuff. If I have to invest a lot of mental capacity in it, like I'm just not going to.
Okay, we should get
we
back.
We should answer a basketball question.
We should answer some basketball questions.
Podcast.
Let's go here. Do the how soon should I expect Sean Marks to acquire Simons and no picks for Terrence Mann? By the way, Keith, I looked at this. Your Celtics are a 7.5-point favorite after the injury reports came out in tonight's game with Brown playing and without LeBron and without Luka and Smart. I suspect the Giannis situation must get resolved first. I don't see Brooklyn as a real option for Giannis.
I think he's more maybe saying as a third team in to help facilitate.
Sure.
Which then, yeah, I completely agree. Poor D-Rock, man. This guy's been like, he's like maybe a day one watcher of the show. I know he's been around with us for a very long time. I feel like dude just wandering around Brooklyn like sad all the time, like Michael Cera and the Arrested Development, just like all sad and kicking rocks around or cans or whatever. I mean, it won't be no picks. He'll get at least a second or two out of it if that's the salary dump move. But yeah, man, that's tough. It's rough right now in Brooklyn, but it's just hang in there, man. It's rough with the design, right? Like there's at least a plan. Yeah, hopefully we'll see if they execute it, but there is an idea.
Do the Pistons make a big trade or ride it out? I would say a more medium-sized trade would be more likely because they're already playing very well and winning games. So they're not the kind of team that you look at and say, man, they need a big shakeup. You know, if the right trade falls in their lap, of course you're going to consider it. But I'd look at them as more of a team that's going to, like we were talking about earlier, just look to add some shooting rather than, the big swing, tear your roster apart type trade.
Yep, 100%. I absolutely think we're gonna see the Pistons do something to shore up the rotation, but the all-in trade, I don't think they're ready because let me say this. If it was me, I'd be very tempted to like jump in the Giannis derby because I think they're very close. But I think for them, they're content to say, hey, we think we have what we have to try to push through this. So I don't think they're gonna push like that.
All right. Explain Spurs a title contender if you have to gut half your team to get him because he's Giannis. And
I don't think they'd have to gut half their team to get him either. Like,
but Spurs fans, you can't go, well, nope, Castle and Harper are off the table.
Yeah,
it's Giannis.
Not getting him. Yep.
You can't.
You got to give something to get something.
You can't say, well, if we have to trade one of those guys, then we don't. But that's not half your team. If we're talking about salaries and picks and then Castle or Harper, that's not a crazy ask for multi-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
All right, let's go here. My husband and I absolutely love listening / watching you guys. Well, thank you. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for making our days more joyful. Merry Christmas to you and your families. Merry Christmas to you as well.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words there. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and if anybody's wondering, behind me, see, I got some decorations. I know I had them on the last show, but if you missed them, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's those are little basketballs, and then it's all the NBA things. I honestly, too, I thought my wife bought NBA ornaments, but she actually bought clear ornaments and then filled them with team-colored paint and then put the logos on them. Like
that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah, she's the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's not too much green. Get out of here.
She made NBA ornaments for you?
Yep.
Man.
Yep. And it's funny. I'm not gonna get into all of it, but she's not happy with a couple of them. So she's like, I'm gonna fix this. So who's the bobblehead in the suit? It's Kevin Malone from The Office. Kevin's my favorite Office character.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's Kevin, a guy I work with or used to work with at Disney. He's actually the one who got me into watching The Office. And I just love Kevin. I think he's absolutely hilarious. And he was so he got me into that. And he went at the NBC store. He was in New York at 30 Rock. There's like an NBC store, I guess. And they had a bunch of stuff. So yeah. So he
I love the cold open where he's making the chili.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yep. I love too. He's like panicking. He's using like file folders to like scoop it back in. Yes, that is fantastic.
We were watching that one the other day.
My favorite Office cold open is Recyclops.
Yes, Recyclops destroy.
I thought Pluticorn was your enemy. Pluticorn wishes. I love it.
That was also a good one. I don't even remember what shows those ones are attached to at this point, but that was great.
The good Kevin moment is the one where they trick Holly into thinking he has a mental disability.
That's right.
Jeez. Look at he goes, Holly? Yeah. Oh, big day for you. You went to the store.
Yeah. You drive
Asian
your own
gym
car?
cold open. Yeah, let's go. Shout him on the chat. So.
Oh, all right. By the way, guys, our intro that has for the live show that has the ball bouncing around, that's because of The Office and the DVD logo that they did.
Yep.
All right. So that's our little nod to The Office.
Kevin Malone is a baller. He can shoot.
That's right. That
was all ad-libbed too.
That was pretty cool. Lamar or Jaden Daniels in fantasy this week?
Jaden Daniels is playing. I knew a football thing.
There you go. He is. Yeah,
I saw that on Twitter.
He's back.
Today.
He's back. You know what? To be honest, so I am. Once the NBA season started, I've been more busy than ever, and so while I'm still watching a decent amount of NFL football, I am not paying attention to my fantasy leagues the way that I should be at all. I haven't made waiver claims in weeks. I'm just starting lineups and going with it. It's a problem, but I'm just so busy. I can't pay attention to it the way I have in past years. But I know the Ravens have not been as good as expected. I've been disappointed in Lamar Jackson overall. I don't know who these two teams are playing right now. I don't know who they're playing against, so that would be a big factor there. I'd just be taking a shot in the dark. Both QBs are able to run quite a bit, and that's what gives them a nice fantasy floor. The question is who's got the better matchup to where they've got an explosive ceiling, some upside there. And that's going to be very matchup dependent. Either one obviously can be great. Either one can win you a week. Either one can be the number one overall QB on the week. I just don't have the matchups in front of me and know who they're going up against right now.
Yeah. I have no. Just go because I have nothing to offer.
Oh, Steelers versus Ravens. That's a tough one. I probably go with Daniel. He's just coming off an injury though too. What streamers do you watch, Keith?
I mostly watch people play GTA, and I like to watch them play it live. Just Havoc is probably my favorite one, and Alanip. They both play on Redline RP. So,
all right, let's
shout out
go
to those guys. Hey, while we're on this, kind of related, thanks to everybody who's been tagging us in this like YouTube wrap up thing and their Spotify wraps. For that. So if you, I guess on the YouTube app, you can look at, there's like it created like an end of year channels you've watched the most. So, thanks for the ones that we've seen on that. So yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys.
All right, let's go here. Has the Lakers-Celtics rivalry died down in the past years? NBA put recent matches in back-to-backs and not even on rivalry week.
Rivalry week is stupid. Just start there. Yeah. Like there's just not some of these things are like, what is this rivalry? Like,
exactly. Like what are we talking about here? Yeah. And especially like if the NBA is going to try to tweak the schedule enough to make sure that they've got rivals playing during rivalry week and you're going to build something around that. Mm-hmm. No. Focus on getting rid of the damn back-to-backs, especially on the road. Focus on other stuff, not on worrying about trying to get all teams to play a pretend rival in that given week.
Yeah. It's just one like just part of the second part of it, like just put recent matches in back-to-backs. It's just hard to avoid, especially when it's East-West, because they're trying to they're trying to limit the travel. So you're gonna have some back-to-backs, especially like it's just, I mean, you know this from the Lakers side. It's very common for a team to play a LA back-to-back, right? Play both those two teams at once, right? Mm-hmm. Or not at once, but you know what I mean, in like back-to-back games in one set. So is the rivalry died down? I don't think so. Like I know, like every Celtics fan I know, this game just means more. Even when both teams have been crappy, like the game just means a lot to people. There's no team in the league Celtics fans would rather beat than the Lakers.
Yep.
And I imagine it's still vice versa. Like it's just, and part of that is like, it's people like you and I, who we had it driven into us by our, parents, uncles, like older relatives. Like it's generational. And my daughter hates the colors purple and yellow. Mm-hmm. She actually has to wear purple and yellow on one of her soccer teams, and she hates it. Like absolutely hates it. And it's just, there it is. Like,
and my daughter knows if we're playing a board game or whatever, dad doesn't get the green character, right? Like if there's a green game, I don't get that one. That's so funny because that's exactly how it is with my daughter as well. So I don't think it's necessarily, but that said, we're the old heads, we're the guys who we were around for it. It's been a generation basically since the Lakers and Celtics have played in the finals. So there is a whole generation of fans that have now never seen those two teams play against each other in the NBA finals. So maybe that's something to it. I also find like because we're seeing more like player first fans, they don't care as much about, they're more worried about how does my guy stack up against this guy over here. Right. And so for those fans too, like the team rivalries won't matter as much, but I think certainly to our generation, but I think to the teams, the organizations as well, it's still very much a thing.
Yeah, forever fan, like people who have become forever fans of a player and a temporary fan of a team because they're with that. I used to be very like, that's not fandom, that's not cool. Then I really realized, I'm like, well, why is that any different? Like, when you're a fan of a team, to some extent, and this is very cheapening it, but you're rooting for laundry, right? Like you're rooting for, what are you rooting for? Now, what you're really rooting for is connection and the city and all the things that are tied to that. But the players come and go. But if you become a fan of a player, and it's like I know a girl named Andrea who loves LeBron, and she liked LeBron because she's roughly the same age, saw him play in high school, and then became a biggest fan of him. So she went from the Cavs to the Heat to the Cavs, and now she's rooting for the Lakers because for her, she's going to root for whatever team LeBron is on. Now I've kind of come around to that's no different than why people pick fandom of teams for any reason. Like I actually I'm okay with that. I don't really have a problem with that.
The area that I do have a problem with, be a fan any way that you want to be. If you want to be a player first fan, be a player first fan. It's those who are, and I think this is the extreme, and I was actually thinking about this earlier today because I put something on X last night complimenting LeBron for the final play where he made the pass to Rui Hachimura and Rui hit the game winner last night against the Raptors. I got so many comments, so many people jumping in that were beside themselves, that how dare I compliment LeBron James because he had a bad game. People have been waiting a long time to be able to say LeBron's not very good anymore, and they want their moment. They want their moment right now. I think it's bizarre. Don't victory lap negative things. It's really unfortunate. It makes you miss out on a lot of really great players because you're going to spend all your time being negative about players. And that, I think, is the unfortunate side of the player first fandom. It's the Curry fans who have to run around doing everything they can to say negative things about LeBron because that's the way you lift up the other guy. And we see that with a lot of different player first fans, that they spend their time trying to push down every other player in order to support their guy. Or if it's hey, your guy turns the ball over, right? And you lose the game because of it. Like, oh, but no, it was actually this guy that missed this shot earlier. But no, it was the coach who did this. But no, it was that. We can be honest in our analysis and still be a fan of that player and don't have to spend our time pushing down everybody else just to prop up your guy. If you're going to be a player first fan, be a player first fan, and that's phenomenal. The part I hate is when we get so into that we have to be negative about anything that is not our player and completely deflect our player from any type of blame or any type of criticism. That's where it goes too far for me.
Yep, completely. Yeah, I'm with you on that. If you can't prop up your guy without a major part of your argument being tearing down the other side, and this is now I'm dropping back into like old debate school things where like you need to make your point needs to be for your thing you're arguing for. You're not arguing against something all the time. And that's where, there's just it's always easier to tear things down than it is to build them up.
Yeah, as basketball talk here says, basically be real. Yep. Yeah. And that's it. And if you want to be a player first fan, as long as you're real about it and we don't go crazy with it, great.
Absolutely. And honestly, too, did LeBron play a poor game? Yeah, I mean,
he did.
A couple plays before that, Scotty Barnes blocked a fadeaway, which I commented on. That just doesn't happen, right? Like, that's rare to see that. And maybe and a couple people were like, well, yeah, he's in his 40s. Well, no kidding. But, like, it's still, like, that doesn't happen. But you could still, like, and I did the same thing as you did. I'm like, LeBron made the absolute right read, and Rui Hachimura delivered. And, like, it's in. I agree with LeBron after where he said, "I've been doing this my whole career, making the right play," and he's absolutely right. I mean, he's been getting yelled at for his whole career for doing it versus taking the final shot because he has to. Like, whatever.
It's okay. It's really okay to say a player makes a mistake here or a player did a great thing here without. But what about this? But what about like?
Or
we can be honest.
Or that then you hate them.
No,
right? Like no, you have to be able to comment. Like and then these divisions that fit, like fans create within teams where it's like, we went through this for years with the Celtics with Tatum and Brown, where it's like you couldn't like, and it's like, guys, like if people were like, well, who would you rather want? I want both of them, and they have both of them. I'm thrilled.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've said Luka, LeBron, like I don't care. They're both Lakers.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So. All right.
Anyway.
Well, we can move it on.
Yes. Depending on the job, would you guys accept a position with y'all's 100%. Favorite teams? Absolutely.
Yep. I've already told you guys I'd paint my house purple and yellow if the Lakers hired me and told me I had to. Then I'd get kicked out because our HOA wouldn't allow it, but that's okay.
Here's the only thing, though, Keith. With what we do, if we were employed by NBA teams, we would have to drastically, like, we would not be, because we'd fall under the CBA rules and tampering rules, we would not be allowed to do like 90+%.
Yeah, you'd never see. Yeah,
we'd have completely different jobs.
Being completely honest with people here, and a lot of people know this anyway, so it's no secret. I've gone through the interview process with a handful of NBA teams for jobs, and clearly I'm here doing this, so that didn't go the way I wanted. Once my own decision, once not. And then others just didn't go far enough down the line. But I have made it clear in all of those processes, whether they asked or I told them, I would delete my social media or at least make it all private and just not post anymore. Or if I did, it would be like I would post about like things that have nothing to do with the sport of basketball. And it would just, that'd be it. I'd become a ghost. And then, and then if it went back, I'd come right back and be, back. Like if I was back doing this, I'd be right there. So yeah. Yeah. I think we missed a couple.
Yeah, I think we did.
Would a multi-team trade with Cat to Phoenix to play with his boy and Giannis to the Knicks be realistic? Yeah, I've seen some people throwing that around. That's been a popular one on Spot Track there. I mean, maybe. I don't know how much Phoenix wants to jump right back into let's get another max guy situation, but yeah, there's ways that could be realistic. The problem is then you're kind of asking the Suns to route the value to Milwaukee for Giannis, and I don't know where what value the Suns can send that way.
All right, let's go. Yeah, I agree with you on that. That would, how that ultimately would play out. But let's go to this. Should the NBA, because I know we're running short on time, but should the NBA reduce the amount of games and reduce the length of games, or neither?
Not game length.
No. Yeah. But I don't think they're going to do either, because reducing the amount of games would mean less revenue, right? Less money for everybody. So they're not going to do that. Even as we, the back-to-backs and everything become an issue, they're still not going to do it because nobody's going to want to, bite the bullet and get and make less money. As far as reducing game length, I know Adam Silver toyed around with it, but I just don't see them doing that either. Giannis to the Raptors. I think if Masai was still there, it makes more sense if that was a
I think he'd be more willing to make the home run swing like that.
But I mean, look, 29 teams are at the very least making the call and saying, "Hey, are you interested? What can we do for Giannis?" They're making that call, 100%.
With the first part of the question too is, they should play less games. Like I think we all kind of know that, but they're not going to. I don't remember. Gosh, I wish I remember who it was, but it was a current player said, no, like we all make too much money. Like nobody wants to give up any money. And he's like, that's why we'll never play less games, when he was asked about it the other day. And I can't remember who it was, but it was a completely honest answer. Like they all make too much money to give up any kind of thing. And reducing game length, it doesn't actually help the way they thought. Like when they tried that in the preseason, every single person with a team and like the training and medical staff said it doesn't matter, because what actually matters is like we tell a player you're taking the day off today, you're not going to play, you could completely shut them down for the day. When you're saying, all right, the game is now 40 minutes long instead of 48 minutes, they still have to do all the stuff throughout the day to gear up to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is Miles Turner just getting posted? He didn't get traded, did he? No. Okay.
Just making sure.
When you start seeing the same thing in the chat, it's like, wait, did we miss something?
No. Okay. Let's go here. Do we think the Hornets should try for Kuminga?
That's interesting. Wouldn't hate it, especially if Miles Bridges was going the other way.
That's what I was just thinking.
Bridges.
If Miles Bridges was out, that could be a thing. I know the Warriors though want to use Kuminga to get in on the Giannis talks, want to get in on, something like that. So I don't know is there a piece like we'd probably be talking about a 3-team trade unless the Warriors want Bridges or something. And I think they would aim higher than that or they're going to anyway. So I don't know. I think we'd be talking about like a 3-team trade or something like that.
I don't hate the idea of Kuminga on the Hornets at all.
No,
I think it's actually I mean, he fits because he's still super young because he came in very young. There. I only want to answer this one. I'm going to skip the Lakers Bucks part of it, but could Austin Reeves rejoin the Lakers again in free agency? Absolutely. This is not his contract would expire and he's a free agent. So if you, this came up with, oh my gosh, it was with the Pacers. They traded somebody away. His contract expired and then he re-signed with them the next year. And now I can't remember
who was it?
Yeah. It was a veteran like guard, and now I can't remember who it was, but that's absolutely allowed.
Yeah,
because his contract would expire. It's only if you're waived or to trade them back to the
right.
player.
Right. All right, let's go here. Can the Heat trade or exchange their 2026 pick to the Hornets for their previously traded 2027 pick? Does their step-in rule still apply?
They could. They absolutely could, because the step-in rule just says you have to have an assured first-round pick every other year. So in this case, you'd be swapping 26 for 27. So it would absolutely have a first-round pick still. So yep. Heard the NBA investment into Africa, is that more of another developmental pathway for international players? Yeah, absolutely. That was the idea. Was there's a lot of talented, good players coming out of Africa year over year over year, and the NBA wanted to make it easier to get those players opportunities, and quite honest, to find those players themselves, to rather than being told about some. Hey, I'm not trying to be insensitive here or be stupid or anything, but rather than be told about some player, this 7-footer, like throwing it back to the movie The Air up there.
I was just gonna say, wasn't that like a Kevin Bacon
that was
movie
still happening. It was like, hey, there's this guy who's huge, but we've only seen him play on like a milk carton that's nailed to a tree or whatever. Now it's that's what all this is about.
All right,
do I see the Celtics tanking? No, absolutely not. They're not going to. It's not going to happen. So definitely not going to be a thing. We're not going to see them tank. They're just too good. Like, it's just not going to happen. So,
all right, let's go here. Could the Clippers have avoided the Paul George trade? Sure, couldn't have known SGA would be great, but Kawhi and PG injury past would have given them pause. I mean, sure, yeah, they could have avoided it. Just don't do the trade, right? I mean, but we have
PG
to remember
didn't really have an injury past. I mean, he had the broken leg, but that was a broken leg. Like that's you kind of like, all right, that happened, and it is what it is. So, but yeah, I mean, you could have. But
I think when we're looking at, should the Clippers have done that? I think one of the things, like in hindsight, no, it was one of the worst trades in NBA history in hindsight. But I think we have to give the Clippers a little bit of a pass because of the decision making in the moment. Did they give up a lot? Yes. But remember, for the Clippers, they were not really just trading for Paul George. They were trading for Kawhi and Paul George, because they weren't getting Kawhi without Paul George. And we have to remember too, if the Clippers didn't get Kawhi, they felt pretty confident that he was going to the Lakers.
100%.
So they were trading not just to get Paul George, it was to get Paul George and Kawhi and make sure that they weren't going to have to deal with Kawhi as a Laker for the next 5 to 10 years or whatever. So it was all of that wrapped into that trade. In hindsight, it created this Thunder's juggernaut that we have today. It was a big part of that. In hindsight, it's one of the worst value trades in NBA history, giving up what they ultimately wound up giving up. When we look at the players those picks turned into, we look at what SGA turned into. But in the moment, with the information the Clippers had available, I don't think it was the most crazy thing for them to do.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, completely agree. There was a million reasons to do that and just not enough. USA and Australia together in Group D.
Oh, good day.
So yeah, good day, mate.
That'll be
throw another shrimp on the barbie.
That'll be fun.
Miles Turner was the guy who said no, we should play less games because we'll make less money.
Okay, that's why they were putting Miles Turner in the chat.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was like, why was Miles Turner being put in the chat? Bill Simmons thinks Tatum will return this season. Yeah, I think he's going to return too. Yeah. You call me a Celtics homer here if you want. The East is not very good at the top. Boston's playing pretty well. you had Tatum in there and they make another move, like I'm not gonna rule out that they could make a decent run.
Yeah.
Like, and that's assuming, Tatum is some
Is
version
Tatum
of
and
the Tatum
right.
we've seen. Yeah.
Hi, Keith. Trevor, are you able to put protections on your pick swaps? Yeah. Swap is only valid if the picks between 8 and 30. Yeah, and that's it. That's where we're really starting to get, like, when we're going into, like real GM or something, and you're reading the pick scenarios, it's like, okay, so if this, then this, then if this, then this, then this, then that, and it's getting very complicated with some of these pick protections on exactly where certain draft picks are going.
Dude, this is what we do, right? And this is a big part of what I do. And I have to legit lay it out. Like put it all, and again, I use Excel for a lot of stuff. I drop it all into Excel and then kind of put it all into a place with, kind of there. Like, it's just, it can be very, very hard to follow with that. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I think there's like probably 5 or 6 of these, exactly what he laid out here. Grebus laid out here of this exact example. One of them is Boston and San Antonio from the Derek White trade. The Celtics have a top 1 protected pick they owe the Spurs in a couple of years, but it's a swap. So if it comes in at 1, the Celtics keep it. If it comes in anything else and the Spurs are better than the Celtics, they can take the Celtics pick. Yep. All right. I think we did it.
I think that's everything. We did it.
Show. There it is.
Thank you, everybody. Hopefully you'll come hang out with us this afternoon for Lakers Celtics. That'll be 4 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be live 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be live on the Lakers Nation YouTube channel. We'll also be live over on the Playback channel. We'll be breaking down the game as it happens. And Keith, I'm kind of looking for, like, to me, this is a very, given how many players are out for the Lakers, given the state of the Celtics right now, where they're at, I think this is going to be a fairly relaxed evening.
I go back to, right, we did it a couple years ago when LeBron and AD were out in Boston, and they went in and beat them, and you guys are having a hell of a good time. And
that's true.
I was like, well, this sucks. And then there was a game last year, I think, where the Celtics had a bunch of guys out, and the Celtics won. And it was like, it might not have been last year, sometime in the last couple of years, and they won. And I was much more on an island having a good time myself there. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. There's nothing there. Friendly wager, I saw people saying, like, I have to wear a Lakers. I don't own a Lakers hat.
I don't have a Celtics hat or anything green, really.
Yeah. We've done where I've worn purple because I do own a couple items of purple. But, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
And honestly, too, depending on how the game is going, might turn into an extended live front office show, because that tends to be what happens where we start getting trade questions and other stuff. So
yeah, absolutely, exactly. I was going to say I should stream it to front office too, but I don't know if I can. I'd have to go look. But it has moved again. Celtics are now an 8.5 point favorite tonight. So maybe we'll see. You never know.
Vegas doesn't know.
Maybe he is. Vegas knows. Nobody else.
That's not real. There's to be very clear.
He's joking.
Yeah, he's already been ruled out. So somebody did ask late, like, what's the Luka situation? He's out. Officially out.
Yeah.
We don't even know if he's in the country.
Yeah. Luka is out. We don't even know if he'll be back up for Sunday's game. Luka is out. Honestly, and absolutely be with your family, Luka.
Yep. Yeah, none of this is that important. So.
Nope.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. And we'll see you in a few hours.
Yep. Till then, everybody. See ya. Stay safe.